Hi, I'm Charlie Yonkers. I'm offering a class in Chesapeake Forum on a sense of place, November 3, 10, and 17. This is a class I've offered 5 times, back all the way when it was at the Chesapeake Bay Maritime Museum, then at Brooklets and on Zoom and hybrid and so forth. Um, we have a limited group of people, 10 or 15 works out to be really great. Um, in the past, it's been a nice mix of people who have had the class before. About 40% are repeats and 60% are new, and that's just lovely. It's a chance for everybody to exchange views about the incredibly broad concept of place. The idea basically is to explore that concept as a topic, as a subject, and our personal experiences, and to share. This is a class that benefits greatly from sharing, both live speaking, but also writing. We've typically offered everybody a chance to write to a particular prompt, like where are you from, or some other much more difficult question. Actually, for where you're from is difficult enough. And I want to do that again. It works because people enjoy hearing and learning from other people's perceptions. In the end, place is all about you. It's not about me. I will not be lecturing. I will be suggesting readings. I will be suggesting prompts, but mostly it's questions, and then you have to deal with it. That's been the model to go with. I have a new approach this time that might be interesting. I will see. The question is, what's the difference between a small place and a large place? I never asked that question before, but I stumbled on a book recently that I'd had on my shelf for years called A Place of Sense. And it's a series of essays about the search for the Middle West. I personally happen to come from the Midwest. And I read through the book recently in the last 2 weeks, in fact, and there was one essay that I'd never read that knocked me dead. And it was the difference between large places, places of large sense, and places of small sense. What on earth does that mean? But the more I thought about it, he's talking about the difference, say, between Chicago. He got his PhD at the University of Chicago, but he's teaching at Iowa State, and he grew up in a very small town. He got interested in the distinctions between places of small sense, e.g., his grandmother's small town in Wheaton, Illinois, and where he was living outside in small towns in Iowa, and big places, that is, not better places, but simply different places, places of quote unquote large sense. The more I thought about it, I thought, doggone it, we here in Talbot County, St. Michael's, live in this mix. It's an extraordinary concept once it penetrated my weak brain, and I've been wrestling with these issues for probably 15 or 20 years, but this was a new thought. And I thought it would be an interesting fulcrum, if you will, to take to talk about our location here, where we have this wonderful mix of smallness, if you will. The Watermen's Association is going to be driving their crab boats around here soon. And at the same time, we have the Chesapeake Forum, where we wrestle with big ideas, huge ideas, global ideas. But we also have Tidewater Times and Attractions and Star Democrat, all of which are focused on our locale. And that, in some sense, makes no sense to our friends who live in New York or Chicago or Boston or some big university and so forth. Those are places of big sense, so to speak. Not better sense, just different sense, bigger topics and so forth. But we do that here too. But we're also immersed in small places. I mean, the little hamlet I live in Whitman, is what, 300 people? My nearest neighbor is, 500 yards away. So we have a opportunity to use the not just the sense of place in general, but to look at the very interesting take on places of large sense, not versus, but in conjunction with places of small sense, and celebrate them both and understand them best. So that's the way I'd like to focus the class in November. Hope you can join if you can, old or new. Repeats are welcome. New people it's a thrilling to introduce you to the issues. Take care.